Whoa. Dropped frames already. That's great. Whoa. Okay, maybe we're good. I need to change that icon. What a miserable little... Joe says, I joined, but I'm tattooing fake skin and that's bad audio. Hi. How miserable. The fuck is happening? Alright. Hi, Lear. Also, mine is still... I think mine is still stuck in, like... Mine is still stuck in, like, December of... 2023? Maybe further back than that? I mean... That's great! That's awesome! That's the kind of, like, old Animal Crossing mean to you charm that I miss. Villagers. I love when villagers are a little mean. Say again? Oh no. Alright, well, everyone's been hearing me laugh at y'all when there's nothing to hear. That's great. Where is... That should do it. And then nobody says anything.
Oh well, she said that my house gave her a good move, or a good move, a good mood. She said just walking in put her in a good mood. It has good vibes in here, I guess. So maybe that's what she meant by saying, "I make more sense now that she sees where I live."
I still liked... I thought it was a funnier interpretation that she was being mean to you.
Oh, it is. It's much funnier if she was being mean. Why do I have cardboard boxes? Where did I get cardboard boxes from?
Okay, straight up, anytime I click off of Discord, the audio starts getting crunchy, so... Oh, great. We're doing this again. Been a while.
Laptop moment.
Yeah, literally
Laptop moment.
laptop moment. I still want
I
to be able
almost finished something for the first day of 503 week. Did not finish it though. Why did I pick up my fridge? Put it down.
I drew a picture.
I was going to draw tonight, and then... Because I was like, yo, Smithy with the 13 months! Well, because I was at work today, and I had the best dialogue come to mind regarding, Sarlaccs and Punks, and was like, that would make a great comic! So I want to do that when I get home. That's what I want to do on stream. And also the tier list, because that would be fun anyway, but... And then, yeah. The rest is history. You know what's embarrassing, though? While all of this has been going on, the... This is shameful. Utterly shameful of me. But the one thing that worked was WoW. The one fucking thing that I tested and worked, and I was like, okay, this is fine, was... I can't open Discord. I can't open any of my streaming stuff. I can't even open the settings menu. The settings menu would not open, but WoW opened just fine. So I sat and played for a little bit. Shameful. Absolutely
Weird.
shameful. I was on there long enough to
Why do I
check
have
the
two
trading
of the same
post.
raincoat?
I was looking at, like... I was looking at what the most recent update might have caused a problem with, and as far as your drawing tablet, this update changed or updated, like, the Windows kernel vulnerable driver blocklist. Maybe your tablet's driver is on that?
That's possible. I was
I have
reading
no clue
about
how
that.
to check or how to disable that.
I was
Okay.
reading about like stuff that is like on like a like stuff that Windows has on a list to potentially block. Ironically, Adobe Premiere was one of the things that set it off on my laptop, not my laptop, on my PC. Fucking an Adobe product. That's saying something, I think.
Probably.
Well,
But, like... the other posts that I was reading regarding this update were talking about how we're finally getting into the pre no longer supporting Windows 10, and they're trying to make things run worse so that everyone switches to Windows 11.
which,
And
yeah.
I actually believe that, because my computer has been worse than usual as well.
When I was looking at that update stuff earlier, one of the, like, as soon as it cleared the update needed thing, after failing the first time, because what happened was, I tried to update it because I saw that it said, urgent action required. So I clicked on that up, and it was like, update required, blah blah. tried it, it immediately said it failed, and then it cleared out and replaced it with switch to Windows 11. Windows 11 preview update available. And I'm like, seriously? Seriously? Oh, and as if like all of this technical issues wasn't enough, I had a food incident.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The ants are gonna love that.
No! I don't want any more fire ants
Don't
in my
doom
house.
him to ants.
So, there's this particular, like, pina colada flavored soda I've been liking a lot recently. But literally, and this is not even a joke, every single time I have ever bought it, it has immediately exploded. Without fail.
Ooh.
It doesn't have to be shaken up or anything. This one had literally been sitting still in my backpack for the last, like, 3 hours. I took it out of my backpack, set it on my desk, it sat still for another half hour, and then when I opened it, exploded anyway. And they do this every time. I've had this happen to me more than once in front of my coworkers at work.
These are outdoors drinks.
Literally. I don't know why, and like, I've never had this happen before. Well, one very minor positive tonight, I got to, since I'm on my laptop and I don't want to go through the trouble of like unplugging everything from my PC, I get to test out my new the new mouse that my new keyboard came with, and it's really nice. It also matches my desk.
I had the opposite issue with my mouse from my matching keyboard today. It
How
stopped
can you
working.
guys get so many new peripherals?
Well, mine
Oh,
all
it's not
died on
new.
me.
I bought it a long time ago. This is the same keyboard mouse that I had back when I was in
Oh, whoopsie.
my old place before the fire.
Oh, I see.
And then the ones that I'm using now, I bought when I was
Whoopsie.
staying with my parents.
What Animal Crossing song is this?
Mm. There's frogs outside. I can hear the frogs.
Ribbit, ribbit.
We don't
That's
have
the sound
frogs
it's
yet.
making. I feel like they showed up
Oh.
early this year.
Yeah.
We've still got snow.
Thunder. Did y'all hear it? Did it come through my mic?
Mm-mm.
Aw.
No. There's one frog out there that is being so loud.
Okay, the Animal Crossing music just got way too slow. I need a different playlist. Nintendo music to stress you out.
Maybe I should try Nintendo music for my writing playlist. I've been doing a lot of lo-fi, but I don't know.
This playlist is literally called Video Game Music That Gives Me Anxiety. It has been a long day.
Sounds like it.
Oh, I wanted to draw Sarlix in his silly little blue outfit.
That outfit was wild. It reminds me of the like it's adjacent to the cat outfit from Splatoon, the little Judd one, but like no ears. Hood instead. So he probably knows what I'm talking about.
Oh my goodness. Hold on.
No, the one from not the face mask one, the one with like the hand and foot paws that you get from Krusty Sean's, like the thing for on your phone for painting like 1,000,000 billion rounds in the Nintendo app.
Oh. You know what? Can I just say, since the Guardian theme is from Breath of the Wild was playing just now, the song itself is not what stresses me out. Like, whenever I used to play Breath of the Wild a lot, the song itself was never the thing that made me stress out. It was the targeting sound.
Yeah, it's the beep 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 beep. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was always awful.
Yeah, that song, like, the targeting is like an instrument on top of it.
Mhm.
It doesn't sound right without that. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, Smithy. Like, that full outfit
Oh,
looks kind
no.
of like the Blue Sarlacc outfit.
I almost turned on my camera in Discord. I hit the button on accident. I wanted to draw Sarlacc in that little blue outfit because it kind of is like, it almost matches the red one that I had Persica in for a bit. The little red thing. They both use the same skirt model, so they have Ninja Turtle stuff in the trading post this month.
Ooh.
Ninja Turts.
They literally have like all of their weapons and also face masks. The only face mask one they didn't have was the red one.
The red one. Like he doesn't have a name.
No, I'm not talking about
You can
him.
get that from a lake.
I'm not talking about the character. I'm saying they didn't have the red face mask. Ah, I don't like this song. I'm going to talk about songs
His
that
name is
actually
Raph!
stress me out. I love Raph! It's not... Oh no, I don't like this one.
Mikey is my favorite. Oh, that was a hermit crab.
Now,
My
this is
favorite
good music.
turtles. Ralph. Leonard.
Thought you were talking about hermit crabs for a second.
Michael.
Hermit crabs?
Because I said, oh, that was a hermit crab, and he goes, my favorite turtles. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
My favorite
And then I was like, well, I
turtles.
guess they are little guys with shells, but...
Crab.
Oh, man.
I have Sarlacc's fic open. I don't think I'm gonna touch it at all tonight, but I want to.
Yeah.
Sarlacc's fic is literally, hold on. Tools, word
Holding.
count. It's almost 2,000 words off of being a novelette. Because a
My,
novelette is 17,000
first-
words.
Yeah, my first the first chapter of
You motherfucker, that's not a
The-
chapter. Shut up.
it's gonna be it's gonna be one chapter. Lear, I don't know if I ever gave you the final word count for. It's not final because I still need to edit it and everything.
You've updated me a few times on this word count. Where are we at now?
Okay, so the word count for all of chapter 1 and chapter 2 so far is 12,700 words.
That's a
For
lot
all
weight.
of chapter 1, oh, this is so much scrolling. I was talking to my therapist about this the other day. She goes, "How many pages is that?" I was like, "I don't know, probably like 25 or 30."
One
It's
page is
11.
small enough.
It's 11,262 words.
I'm with Percy on
chapter
that.
one.
That is not a chapter.
That's not a fucking chapter.
Okay, every
Bro-
single
bro-
person who
bro,
has read it though.
If a novelette is 17,000 words, 11,000 words is not a chapter. That is almost a novelette.
Oh, I know. I've been talking to
You're
all my
pissing
friends.
me
I'm like,
off.
it's practically a novella at this point.
It's not practically a novella. It's a novelette. Get your terminology right, writer.
Novella is a term. Novella
No.
is terminology.
No, I'm not saying novella isn't terminology. I'm saying you're using the wrong one. Novella is longer.
No, I googled a novella
Bro, no.
because I was like, how long is this?
What? A novella
on.
is longer. 17,000 words is a novelette, and then the next step up is a novella. And then you have a novel at 50,000.
I know a novel's 50,000.
This song slaps.
Okay, yeah. Between 17,500 and 40,000 words is a novella.
I know my stuff. I'm not a writer, but I know my stuff.
It's already past a novelette. A novelette is 7,500 to 20,000 words.
I thought it was
It's already a
17,000.
novelette. 17,000 is novella.
No, like... I don't think that's
I
right.
think it kind of depends if you want to, like... So, according to the AI overview, which, fuck the AI overview, but whatever. AI overview says 20,000 to 60,000 is a novella, but the Wikipedia page for novella says between 17,500 and 40,000 is a novella. Seven and a half to 17.5 is a novelette. So it's already a novelette, but it's almost it'll be a novella soon. But everyone I have sent this to, everyone who's read through the first chapter, has agreed with me that there's not really anywhere to break it up that doesn't interrupt the flow enough that it would be jarring.
Do it anyway, because
Like,
that is not one chapter, bro. And you say that as if there aren't jarring chapter breaks in a lot of books anyway.
Well, see, okay, so as somebody who just recently read a novel, there are some long
read books.
chapters in Sunrise on the Reaping. Well, I just read one last month. Sunrise on the Reaping has some freaking
Bragging.
long chapters. That first chapter is so long.
Bro, bragging about reading.
I don't think it's this long, but yeah, I'm bragging about
Someone
reading.
has to read.
Excuse me, I enjoy reading. I did not read a book. I guess I didn't read it last month. I read it in March. I have not read a book in April because I needed a break after Sunrise on the Reaping. It was too much.
I mean, like, I'm sure there's books that have similar, like, chapter word counts.
Let's
Probably.
see. Average chapter word count.
Average is like 4,000. You're way past that.
Yeah.
You're way past.
I
This is
know.
what I keep saying.
But like,
Oh,
I don't
I've
know,
known
like-
I was long past it for a while. I knew that before I ever came back to it. Like, when I first abandoned it, I knew that the first chapter was too long, because it was at 7,000 words at that point.
raining. The rain sounds nice.
We've got rain.
I want it to be warm enough outside that I can go stand in the rain and not get cold. Or not like super cold, at least.
I want that too.
I am considering just posting this scene separate and
42
being
out.
like, it's okay, you don't need to read this to know the rest of the story. But if you want to.
I haven't played with my model in a little while. I'm having fun just making the ears wiggle.
Oh, I should open Twitch probably.
There was I was listening to a World of Warcraft stream earlier while I was at work, like after my lunch break. Because it's somebody I follow who was streaming. And then at one point this person was literally like in PvP and was like, get wrecked, Alliance! What side are we on?
You were telling me about that.
I thought that was so funny. This person was playing a mecha gnome, to be clear. Oh my
Gnome
goodness.
chaos.
My hedgehog is back.
But then the person followed it up and was like, you know, it doesn't sound right to say get wrecked horde.
Right.
Really emphasized the horror part of horde.
That's like what I was talking. So this is sorry to bring up JoJo Siwa, but
Oh no.
So I was watching this video and she was talking about. Okay, Lear, if you're not up to date on JoJo Siwa, I won't go too into it. But basically, she was on Big Brother UK, and she has identified as a lesbian for a very long time. She's only 21, so it's okay that she's like exploring. But
You can
she had a
explore at any
girlfriend
age.
at this time. Yeah, that's not the part. That's not the part that's the problem. The part that's the problem is that she was in a relationship with Smithy knows. She was in a relationship when she went on Big Brother. I'm not gonna
Hold on.
talk about what Mickey Rourke said because he said some really awful things to her. But basically, he bullied her and was like, if I'm here for 4 days, you won't be a lesbian by the end of the week. And she was like, I can promise you I will be a lesbian when I leave here and I will be in a happy relationship. So anyway, within 2 days, she had cheated on her partner with a man at the Big Brother house. And then by the end of the 3 weeks of filming at the after party, she broke up with her partner at the after party. And then she did an interview where she was like talking about how she doesn't identify as a lesbian anymore. But the way she said lesbian was so visceral. It felt like she was saying a slur. She was like, I've always been like, oh, I'm a lesbian.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, anyway, yeah, I don't know if she
Where
broke
did
up with Chris. I have no idea. I know that they weren't,
There
well,
it is.
technically they weren't dating because they did an interview. Also, Chris is 32. She's 21. So there's that also. But she kissed him, claiming it was platonic. And then when they did an interview and were asked if they were in a relationship, it was very awkward because it was very clear that Chris doesn't actually care about JoJo that much. And JoJo was like, it's just platonic. It's like, girl, whatever's happening here, you need to think
There.
about it some more.
There. Chat should be actually on screen now.
I do
This
not
kind
see
of
chat
drama
on
is
screen.
way beyond me.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, I
same.
freaking love I freaking love drama that has nothing to do with me. It's so fun.
Where is the chat box?
I do feel there's so JoJo is such a strange
there it
person
is.
to see because like her whole like I feel bad for her because she was on Dance Moms and she's been exploited for her entire childhood. And like she's never gotten to be normal. So this like Big Brother thing felt very much like she went to her first overnight camp and got her first camp crush. Unfortunately, it had to be on national television and ruin a relationship with a person who really actually genuinely loved her and thought they were going to get married. Which, by the way, they have not been together that long. I think they've only been together for like 3 months. So, little extreme, but that's pretty typical for JoJo. She cannot stay single, and she moves way too fast with all of her relationships. And then after they break up, she's usually really awful about her exes. I don't think she'll say anything about Kath, though, because JoJo was 100% in the wrong on this one.
I'm gonna be real. I forgot JoJo Siwa was a real person.
You were living in a much better reality.
I was living in the better universe because like I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of her recently and I was like, "Oh, that's that kid star."
Yeah.
Like she's not a
That's
kid
how I
anymore.
feel seeing like
She's the
any-
CEO of gay pop, apparently. That's what she says. She called herself the
Ew.
inventor of gay pop, and then her
Ew.
little chat introduction. Yeah, I know. She introduced herself on Big Brother. She goes, "My fans call me the CEO of gay pop."
No, they don't.
Nobody calls her that. Nobody calls her that. But she was like, I want to invent a new genre called gay pop, and everybody was like,
Lady Gaga beat you to it, motherfucker.
Elton John.
Elton John is not pop. Is he?
I would say he's like, I don't know. He was like 70s, 80s, 90s, pop adjacent. I microwaved this muffin for too long.
Why are you microwaving muffins?
Because I like to have them warm, especially when they got chocolate in them.
it's like they come from the oven.
They were $3.99 at the grocery store for 4 of them. I've already had one today, but I want another one, so.
Dollar muffin.
I left my water downstairs in my car. I'm so sad about it.
Go.
Because
go
I
get the
got so
water.
many groceries. No, I don't want to go downstairs and then come back upstairs. It's okay. I can just get a regular cup if I really want water. And I already drank like 40 ounces of water today, so that's,
Elton John's rock.
It's not as much as I should, but it's fine. What did you say, Percy?
Elton John is rock.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But I mean, if we're talking like modern pop, Lady Gaga beat her to it.
Yeah, Lady Gaga. Mm-hmm. Lady
Like-
Gaga, Halsey, Haley Kiyoko, not Kikyo. Haley Kiyoko.
I don't know who those people are.
I was gonna say Italo Brothers, but they're a dance band and not a pop band. Or techno EDM, maybe? I don't know. They have a long history.
You are such a baby. I am not picking you up. I know you can jump up here, you freaking brat.
Oh, Lady Gagita. I love that image so much.
Gagita.
How I feel anytime I see a gnome.
I'm not laughing at that. Well, I am, but I also read something.
What'd you read?
I looked up Italo Brothers to see what they're doing these days, and they still make music. And their band got bigger. They got the DJ from a duo called French Sisters, and the merging of Italo Brothers and French Sisters is very funny to me in my head.
That is funny.
You want to know
Whoa.
what's even funnier, though?
Hmm.
Despite the name Italo Brothers, they're from Germany.
Sometimes I get like, this is unrelated to anything, but sometimes when I'm watching my model on my like stream preview and I see the lip sync like work perfectly, it like shocks me a little bit, because not to say the lip sync is bad on my model, but it doesn't always match right. It looks it's kind of weird looking sometimes, which is fine. It's fine. I'm charmed by it, but anytime it does sync up just right, I'm like, oh, weird. What is this song? What is this from? Sonic Frontiers?
No, can't hear it. I love the music in Frontiers. It's so good.
It's according to the timeline on this playlist, it says Cyberspace 2-1 Slice Sway from Sonic Frontiers.
Hang on, let me
That
unmute
sounds
the
like a
stream so
level,
I can
man.
hear it. I think this is from one of the, like, bosses you have to do in space. It's not in space, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's, I think, yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Whatever.
I've seen that game. Well, but I mean, the it is literally called Cyberspace.
Oh, from Digimon.
Whoa. Digital.
I freaking love Sonic Frontiers. I should replay it.
Digimon mention. We win.
I said Digimon, and the sleeper agents awoke like that. Every time Vinny Vinesauce says chicken now.
Well, and see, when you said Sonic Frontiers, I said I love Frontiers, and I was waiting for somebody to be like, Digimon? Can you stop, please? You can't even have this. It's chocolate.
But
Don't
I
you
want it.
meow at me, you freaking brat.
I've seen that, and it's making me
love
like
when-
anxious. Oh man.
I love when I talk at my cat and he meows back at me like he understands what I'm saying. Also, Alto finally knows her name. It
My
took about
cat's-
4 months, but that, you know.
My cats are finally getting along with Milo again.
Yay!
And also her wounds are healing real good, so.
Wound?
Oh, I forgot to talk about that. Yeah, right. My mom got that Malamute, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he chews on everything, chews real bad,
Oh, shit.
chewing on the cat. To the point where
Hmm.
when I received her, she was missing a lot of fur. And
Your mom just lets that happen?
Yes!
Why?
Yes!
Your mom should not be allowed to own animals.
Well, she doesn't have the Malamute anymore.
That lasted how long? 2 weeks?
A month. About a month, I think. She gave the dog to Dominic. You can't see my sarcastic
Oh
smile.
my
Bonus.
goodness.
Bonus question.
I can see your sarcastic smile in my brain because I know exactly what it looks like.
Bonus question.
Why is she trying to take care of a Malamute in Texas?
Wow, I don't
Because she's
know.
dumb.
I
Sorry,
literally brought that up when she got it. No, not when she got it, when she was considering getting it. Because here's the thing. She thought it was a husky at first because they look similar when they're puppies. And
Okay,
her
fair.
her
If
her
it's a puppy.
her coworker had told her that it was a husky puppy. And she was talking to me about it basically the day before. And she was like, so what do you think about the idea of having a husky? And I recall literally saying to her that I don't think it's a fair dog to have in Texas because it's hot.
No.
my
And she
brother
was
has a
like,
husky pit mix, and I'm like, why?
oh, that's an interesting
He
mix.
was down
I've never
there
heard of
too.
that before.
He's a gorgeous dog, very, very gorgeous dog. He is also the least husky I've ever met in my life. He's so quiet. My brother cannot get him to awoo at all, no matter what. Not a dramatic dog. Well, that's not true. He's just not loud.
but yeah, she thought it was a husky. She brought it up to me and I was like, yeah, I don't think it's fair to have a husky in Texas. It's not fair to the dog because it's hot here and they're not hot weather dogs. And she was like, well, hypothetically, what would you name one if you got one? And I was like, I wouldn't get one because it's not fair to the dog.
Well, and my brother, he was talking about maybe moving up here, and he was like, "Oh, and I just know Con would love it since it snows there." And I was like, "Yeah, for half the year, not even half the year, for like 4 months. It might snow, maybe it'll be cold, but if you don't have a yard, what's the point?"
Well, like, fluffier dogs like that, they appreciate, like, it being even just a little cool. I've noticed, at least, like, up here.
Yeah, but if he doesn't have a yard for the dog, what's the point?
Still
Dog's
gets
gonna be
cold
inside all the
inside.
time anyway.
Yeah.
What is this song? What is Go Vacation?
It's when you go vacation.
Sounds good.
It does sound nice.
But
Sounds
yeah.
almost like a Go-Go Hypergrind song.
But she was looking at this dog and she was like, this doesn't really look quite like a husky. What's going on with this dog? And so she looked into it and it's probably not a purebred Malamute, but it is definitely primarily a Malamute. Oh, and it's
Enough
a big...
of a Malamute that they shouldn't have called it a husky.
Yeah, literally. But okay, the guy that told her it was a husky was getting that information secondhand anyway. Because it wasn't his dog he was giving away, it was somebody he knew's dog that they were giving away. And he just basically went into work that day and was like standing around the office going, does anyone want dogs? Anyone want some dogs? Oh, and my mom thought that she was getting a girl dog before she got this dog. She did not get a girl dog. But anyway, she doesn't have the dog anymore, so... I'm not gonna say it's not a big deal considering who has it now, but...
Yeah. Not a big deal for her.
Yeah. What is Go Vacation? What is this? Oh, it's a Wii game! Oh, this looks
You
like...
go wee on vacation.
This looks like Wii Sports Resort, but more.
But more resort. I tried to thaw the chicken, it didn't work. I have chicken that needs to thaw because it's been in my freezer for like a week, and I need to cook it. I tried to thaw it out. I don't know the best way to do that, so instead now it's just wet.
I am enjoying
It's still in the
this
package,
playlist.
don't worry, I didn't like
put the chicken on a little tray, and then like in the morning, and then when you come home, it's ready for cooking.
Oh, not with cats
Yeah.
around.
Yee, oh.
Yeah.
What? I don't know. Poppy and Jade don't really get into it.
My stepmom has a cat that didn't used to, and then for some reason, out of nowhere recently, she has gotten into the habit of just like anytime there's anything on the counter, like they have to put any meat they need to defrost in the microwave to defrost all day because she will tear into the packaging and start eating it. And she didn't used to do that. She didn't used to do that. She just started doing it recently for no reason. She is well fed. Those cats are so spoiled. She's just unhinged.
Consumed by
She
greed.
is probably the
greed
most
sickens
spoiled
me.
cat that they have, except for their ragdoll. Because they have a ragdoll that they found abandoned outside, literally had been kicked out of her house and came to my stepmom for food because my stepmom feeds all the outside animals. So she kept like running up to the back door while nobody was out there and eating from the little plate of cat food that's out there. And my dad has a Ring camera back there and he kept being like, hey, there's a cat out there. And my stepmom did not believe him until he showed her the footage. Anyway, she's a ragdoll who was declawed and then kicked out of her house for some reason. So my parents have her now. And she's very spoiled. But Peach, the one that eats food off the counter, is so spoiled that she has special allotted outside time multiple times every single day where someone has to drop everything they're doing to go put her out in the special kennel that my dad bought for her because she kept escaping her leash. So now she has a special dog kennel outside her own little room that she can sit in outside and watch all the birds. And she gets to sit out there for hours, and then she'll just turn and stare at you through the door, waiting to be picked up and brought inside. She is the most spoiled cat I've ever met in my life. My dad has spent hundreds of dollars on that cat because she likes to go outside. And you know, my dad will say he doesn't want any of them. He doesn't like any of them. He doesn't like them. None of them. They are so spoiled, and my dad is the one who does it. My stepmom will be like, she doesn't need that, and he'll be like, of course she does.
Large image. I don't have my collection on screen,
my
but I have to add.
blinds?
I have to include my newest piece, right?
There we go. You guys have got to stop fucking with the blinds while I'm drawing. What is going on over here?
Joe doing things to my brain with this image.
It's so much easier if you just twisted the blinds
Yeah,
open
there
a
we
little
go.
bit.
I can make chat box a little bit bigger so it's readable on stream. It's just going to be covered by Gablins.
Not the
Gablins.
Gablins.
Oh, I keep
There.
meaning to bring this up because it's really funny to me. Recently I saw a post. Had to have been like last week or so. I saw a post that was like, how does the class you play in World of Warcraft compare to your real life job? And the person who posted it was like, I play a hunter and I'm a rancher in real life. And I'm like looking at the whatever, because it was a video. They had proved it by like riding some kind of machinery in front of horses, basically. Riding some kind of machinery in front of horses. Yeah, great descriptor of a job. Anyway, I saw this, and I'm looking at it, and I'm kind of like, well, I main a monk. That's not really related to the job that I have. I don't think. Until I thought about it for 2 seconds more, and I was like, wait, I have two mains, and one of them's a fucking rogue. Yeah, sure, the dude who works at a knife store and handles knives on the daily is a fucking rogue. Sure. Not just that my second main is a rogue, my second main who is explicitly a self-insert. I can't win.
See, I don't think any of my mains associate it at all with the things I do in real life. I work retail. I'm a receiver for the store. I've got a paladin and a rogue that are my two main ones. The paladin is the main.
Can I say something that you're not gonna like?
Go ahead.
You main a paladin and you have the whole fucking, like... You main a retribution paladin, I need to specify, and you have the whole, like, religious issues thing going on.
That's true. I was thinking about that after I said it, but I did not want to bring it. I literally was having a discussion with somebody at work today, where they like randomly. So there's this guy at my job. We'll call him
Initial.
Steven. I don't know. His name is Steven now because I already said it. But he's like. So he already is super obnoxious all the time. This is the guy who like gets high on the job. Will just like go and smoke his weed vape in the back of the shop for hours and hours.
Weedvin.
Yeah, he's very annoying. Anyway, not the point. Today, what were we even talking about? I don't know. He started talking about religion specifically. And he has this like toxic positivity mindset where every negative emotion you feel, you should be grateful for it because that's how you appreciate life. And I had been talking about a Miranda Lambert song called Tin Man. And I was like, I really like this song that she does called Tin Man. And I talked about how the point of the song is she's singing to the Tin Man while she's brokenhearted. And she says, hey there, Mr. Tin Man, if you don't mind the scars, take mine if you want it. Or like some sort of, then she says, if you ever felt one breaking, you'd never want a heart. And I was like, I think she's just so good with lyrics. She's so good with lyrics. And I mentioned this song specifically, and he got like uncomfortable and weird about it. And he was like, I don't know. I think it's disrespectful to yourself to say you wish you'd never had a heart. And I was like, it's an allegory. Like, it's a song of exaggeration to emphasize how much pain she's in. And then he started talking about how, like, well, this is the life that God gives you, and you gotta be so grateful for it all the time. And I was like, hey, man. And then I mentioned that we have these missionaries that come into where I work, and how they have, I say they, it's the husband. It's the husband every time. The wife is very nice, and she is very respectful. Has never once made me feel uncomfortable just talking to her. But the husband will not leave me alone about going to their church.
You need to get to a point where no, dude, seriously, you need to.
Oh, I don't talk to him anymore. I literally avoid him.
Well, no, but I'm trying to say, if he like ever tries to approach you again, you just need to say, "Sir, leave me alone while I'm on the job, or I will have you escorted out of the store," or some shit like that. Like, make threats. These people don't listen to anything but threats.
He has actually gotten to a point where he just kind of waves awkwardly at me, because the last time he kept trying to push me to go to his church, I snapped and said, I'm gay. And then he went, "Can I pray
I
with
wouldn't
you
do
for
that!
just 10 seconds?"
That's more dangerous
I don't know.
than
It
just
got him
saying
to leave me
no.
alone.
That's dangerous.
I
Don't
know,
do
but
that.
it got him to leave me alone. I know it is. I know it is, and I don't do that typically, but I was so frazzled and I couldn't think of anything else to get him to shut up.
You make threats that
Anyway.
you'll have him kicked out or banned from the store. If there's one
This was
thing,
back when we had our...
Wait a minute, Jay, you're on the right track, but you're supposed to call him gay. That's what I learned back in school.
Oh no. See, the thing is, at this point, I was still a cashier and we still had the boss that would have fired me for that.
Oh my
So,
god.
Anyway, it doesn't matter now.
Freaking
But
bosses.
Steven, the coworker of mine today, I mentioned the missionaries that come in and how, like, when I worked in the capital city here for a while, he actually ended up coming to my store, not on purpose. He didn't know I worked there, but he saw me and then followed me around for like 15 minutes while I did my job, trying to convince me to go to his church, and was like, I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't feel comfortable in church buildings." And he goes, "Oh, that's okay. We do Zoom church." Because this was back during the pandemic, and I was just like, I don't want to. No, I don't want
That sounds
to.
even less comfortable.
Yeah, well,
Somehow.
and I was telling Steven about this, and I was like, the thing that bothered me the most was that he would not listen to me. He did not respect me. I told him I was uncomfortable, and he did not listen. And then Steven goes, "Oh, but you have to look at it from his perspective, because, you know, he just wanted to help you and your eternal salvation." And I said, "My eternal salvation is none of his business. It has nothing to do with him." And Steven was like, "Well, yeah, but he's..." And I was like, no, it's not his problem.
This is what I'm getting at, though. It has not, like, they don't care about your comfort. Telling them you're uncomfortable doesn't do anything. That's why you threaten their ability to return to the store.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and
you can't try
I
to
was
appeal
very
to them
new
based
at
on
that.
how you feel. You have to
Yeah.
threaten
Well, his wife
how
left
they
me
feel.
alone. That's the thing. His wife left me alone, though. His wife was like, "We're here to shop. Leave this person alone." Anyway, doesn't matter because I don't talk to him ever when he comes into the store, and I don't have to because I'm not a cashier anymore. And even when I was still a cashier, the second I saw him come inside, I would immediately call somebody else up and be like, "I'm so sorry. I cannot help this man. So I'm going to go do something else until he leaves, and then you can call me back up when he's gone, because I'm not doing it." But yeah,
this
no,
is from
unfortunately, I think
Yo
Steven is
Noi.
going to be one of those guys.
What, annoyed?
You know what I should
Oh,
do?
the song just changed.
I bought corn today. I should make some corn.
Aw.
Anybody know how long you boil corn on the cob for?
Uh,
I think their songs on average are about 4 minutes.
until yummy?
Yeah.
Okay, nobody laugh, I
I think you're
guess.
supposed to boil it for like... Well, because I was trying to think of how long you're actually supposed to boil a corn on the cob.
You could look it up.
I am. I had to come get my phone.
I want to go back to the WoW main thing.
4 to 7 minutes. You were kind of close, Percy, actually.
Is that like already? That's probably already boiling water.
I don't know. I'm washing my pot right now.
I was
so-
making a joke, though, about the
Watch the
band corn.
I know you were, but you were still close.
That's why all their songs are that long. It's not funny if it's just a fact. Come on.
Boiling. It's a boiling corn playlist, and it's just one corn song.
That's good. That's fucking good. Okay, what about the WoW main thing?
So I barely play WoW, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm an artist, and my main was shaman.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm trying to find correlation there.
The fuck is that noise outside?
It's me.
Rain.
It
I'm
sounds
not
like
actually boiling corn. It was a ruse. I came to see you.
it sounds like.
Corn roost.
Didn't you pick priest or mage? You picked mage, I think. Priest or mage, I thought.
What do you mean?
Smithy.
Oh yeah.
One of those two. I know it was a cloth class.
Man,
I
now that I'm thinking about Steven from work. I'm remembering that he and Trevor from work, also
Ugh.
not the real name, they were shitting on Bill Nye today.
What?
I
They were
think-
shitting on Bill Nye.
I think it was
That's
priest.
illegal.
Oh no. Yeah, those things correlate.
What? Hang on.
Priest and food
I can't
service.
see chat. Oh. Oh no. I worked in food service once for 3 months and I hated it. I worked at an
No.
ice cream shop and they only ever let me scoop ice cream one time because I cannot, for the life of me, judge the size of an ice cream scoop. I would always give way too much or way too little and they were like, you can't do that! And so they never let me scoop ice cream again. But it was for the best because every time you reach down to scoop ice cream, it gets on your arms.
It's not supposed to if you do it right.
Horrible.
That might be
Horrible
part of your
sensation.
problem.
I had another friend. Well, my friend Brittany also worked at that same ice cream shop, and she had the same problem where it kept getting on her arms.
It's not supposed
Because
to
they're
if
like
you do
big
it right.
tubs of ice cream.
I've literally never
They don't
seen...
teach you how to do it right, they're just like, do it.
Well, no, but
And then if you fuck up the first time, they never let you do it again. So how are you supposed to learn?
I think they were just bullying you.
What?
What do you mean,
I
what?
couldn't hear you.
I
You
s-
cut out!
I said I think they were
Yeah.
just bullying you.
Probably.
I was gonna say, though, speaking
Yeah, it's
of...
already boiling water. Sorry.
Sp- Speaking of like WoW classes, I still need to make my presentation on which sports correlate to which class. I've already emphasized that I think football is perfect for monks.
I think you're a little biased there, but
I'm not
Me
biased.
too.
That's not bias. What? Name a better sport for a monk than football. It's completely unarmed, it's medium armor, and if we go back historically, it's
Mixed
leather
martial
armor
arts.
specifically.
I was gonna say martial arts.
Martial arts! That's already a monk thing! That's like inherent to monks! That shouldn't count because it's already
Exactly.
there! No! Sport ball! Ball! Ball must be
What
included.
about soccer?
Soccer, there's no armor in soccer. It's also unarmed, technically, I think, but like...
They have shin pads.
Shin pads!
Nut cups.
Soccer is a
What did you
cloth
say?
armor sport.
They have nut cups.
They do.
Very important.
Don't most sports have those?
Mm.
They should.
I was only in soccer and baseball. Bowling
What
certainly
about
didn't.
tennis?
bowling. Okay,
what
but
was
you're
an
class would
not
be
incentive.
tennis?
you're not at risk of like smacking each other in the dick when you're playing bowling.
You don't know that. We
What
were all
dir-
like juvenile high schoolers. We were
What-
smacking each other constantly.
What direction are you swinging that bowling ball? You're supposed to swing it at the pins.
You know Wii Sports?
You're doing the fucking. You're
You
doing
know
the
Wii
Wii
Sports?
Sports. The Wii Sports throw it behind you, and everybody in the crowd jumps and spins it.
Yeah.
They jump and spin and go, whoa! Oh my goodness. You know what's a heavy armor sport though? Fucking hockey.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hockey is. That's a paladin sport.
That's a paladin sport or warrior. So it's a rage thing.
Actually-
Oh
I-
yeah, warrior would be good.
Yeah, I think. Because, like, hockey sticks are long, they're basically pole arms.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. A hockey stick is a pole arm. A baseball bat is a mace though.
Okay.
What about like track and field? So like javelin throwing. What would that be?
A javelin's a pole arm, isn't it?
No, that's a thrown weapon.
A thrown weapon.
Yeah. Hunter?
Hunter?
Actually, Hunter's a good one, because Hunters can also use pole arms in WoW.
I can see that. I can see that.
What about like track and field?
Okay.
I don't think that's a sport.
Well, yeah, track is a sport.
That's an,
Well, it's not
no,
a
track
sport.
is an extracurricular activity.
Track is not a sport ball sport, but it's racing is a sport. But
Mm-hmm.
because
Well,
that's
then Thief is obviously because they run.
I was literally about to say that. Because I was going to equate it to like an agility an agility thing. You know what's
there
a
it
good?
is.
Oh, I've got one. Billiards. Billiards is a priest sport.
We are
Number-
stretching the meaning of sports.
No, billiards is a sport. It's
He said sports with a ball.
it is a sport ball sport. It's just not a traditional sport.
Lear, I have a question for you.
What?
Yeah, that's me.
Competitive
I have a
gaming is a
question for
sport.
you.
That's the
Do
priest
you
sport.
consider marching band a sport?
No.
I will stab you. I have a knife. I'm
You
holding a knife right now.
you want
I
to
mean,
come
it's
at me
extremely
about that?
vigorous. It's extremely vigorous, but I think that falls under extracurricular activity to
Marching
me as well.
band is a sport.
It is
Marching
not.
band is a sport.
It is not a sport. It is extracurricular.
No,
Okay.
there are like professional marching band leagues. It is a
March-
sport.
Not.
Marching band is a sport in the same way that robotics team was a sport, in that we barely were represented by the school and they didn't fund anything.
I'm holding my knife like a murderer right now. I'm ready
Then
for
you're. I'm guarantee
Stab
you're
my-
holding it
stab
wrong.
my school principal! Stab
You
my
know what?
principal, she's the one that didn't
You-
pay for the bands.
you. I'm gonna tell you.
Marching.
Right, you know
No,
what? You
no,
hold
listen,
your you
listen,
hold your
listen,
breath for
listen.
8 minutes straight and walk. I
That
dare
doesn't make it a
you,
sport.
while remembering how to play a song.
That
If
doesn't.
chess is a sport, marching band is a sport.
Chess.
Actually,
Chess.
sorry.
Okay. The thing is, marching band does not inherently mean that every time you do it, you are competing. Not inherently. Because marching band.
Competing
Can-
when you play chess either.
What? It is inherently a competition.
People play chess by themselves all the time.
It is inherently a competition, though. There are two sides in direct competition to each other, whether you're playing solo or not. It is inherently a competition.
Does a sport have to have competition?
Well, name name a sport that doesn't.
What's that one where you're like smacking a ball off the wall?
Wall ball?
Pickleball? Oh, wall ball.
There's sounds like there's a few names for it, but like
No, pickleball
Pickleball.
is
Oh, that one
different.
you just-
Pickleball is the one that has the like holes in it.
There are a few different types of sports where you're hitting a ball.
What?
Sport used to mean sex, Smithy says. Well,
pickle sex.
there are a few different types of sports that involve hitting a ball against a wall, and all of them have different rules.
Don't laugh at that say.
What did you say?
Don't laugh at that say. This conversation's been going so long that I equate ball to sport now.
He said pickle sex.
Don't-
And I'm the only one who
Is that
heard
what-
it.
Is that what Rick from Rick and Morty's up to?
Oh. The weirdest part about that scene from Rick and Morty, if it is what I remember, I don't know if I actually even watched this episode, but I think he purposefully turned himself into a pickle so he didn't have to help somebody
Yeah, he did.
who wanted his
Yeah.
help. Yeah.
I
And
even
then
know
Morty
that, and I
was
never
like,
watched the
"That's
show at all.
Fucked up, man. Morty was like, that's fucked up. I'm not turning you back. Or maybe it was Summer, I don't remember.
Smithy says the definition of a sport is activity that you do for pleasure and that needs physical effort or skill, usually done in a special area and according to fixed rules. From Oxford.
So marching band. Marching
So
band is a sport.
That doesn't sound like pleasure to me.
It's
You make
fun.
music. You're tuning.
It's rewarding.
What
And if it's
special
the 4th of
area is
July,
for
you
marching
get to throw
band?
candy at the kids.
Football
Fucking Main
field.
Street.
You have to have a football field for a marching band. If you're gonna do a marching show, you have to have a football field. Otherwise, it's parades.
Oh yeah, I guess there's a difference.
It's an account?
Okay, well then there's still football field. You have to have a football field.
Football.
I do not
Percy's
consider...
leaning really hard into the elitist football player.
I'm
These-
about to
these
shove you in
band
a
players
fucking
don't
locker,
count as
you
sports
nerd!
people.
I'd like to see you try.
Brother, I flipped Maddox over my shoulder. I can fuck you up.
I'm bigger than Maddox was too!
That doesn't mean anything. I'll judo throw you. I don't consider marching band a sport specifically because it is a performance more than it is a competition. In the same way that, like,
I don't know if we can be friends anymore, dude.
this isn't some elitist thing. I think it's a semantics thing.
There are definitely antics going on here.
Alright then, motherfucker,
Marching
what
band
class
is a
correlates to marching band? Marching band is not unarmed.
Bard.
Wait,
Bard.
That's a D&D class.
that's a D&D class.
It's still a class.
Not in
Still
WoW, it's
class.
not. No, WoW does not have bards.
Let me think about it.
Not playable bards. There are bards that you can find in places, but not playable. It's not considered a class.
I don't
No!
know as much about World of Warcraft as you do, dude.
Oh, I'm answering Smithy.
Hang on.
Yeah, no,
No, I'm
WoW.
trying to think of.
No, WoW doesn't
shit.
have doesn't
My
have
potato
bards
jump.
or equivalent. I think I've only ever seen one bard actually in the game, who is in the Hall of Shadows performing for the Uncrowned. He's a dwarf. Just that's not relevant, but I find it interesting. I like it.
It's relevant to me. Freaking love
I
my
mean-
dwarf guy. I gotta make a dwarf in WoW.
We do have jukeboxes. That's not the same, but you. That's the closest you'll get to playing your own music.
I'm trying to think, man. I don't know enough about WoW classes.
Okay.
I don't even remember what all of them are.
I think swimming would actually be like the priest sport.
Hmm.
Basketball is for the warlocks.
Fucked up and evil.
Well, warlocks are kind of like... They're always depicted as kind of like tall gaunt, like basketball players are. That's
Gangly.
where my mentality is going with that. Yeah.
It is also a cloth sport. Cloth armor sport. Unarmed. But... What is this music?
Shaman
Mario
don't have a
artist.
sport, they just go to summer camp.
The water for the corn is boiling. Time to get
See,
the corn.
Smithy, you're right. WoW is weird. Because, like, Guild Wars has a bard-ish equivalent. There's Virtuoso for Mesmer. Granted, I say that, and there's, like... there's no instruments involved. You, instead of summoning illusions of yourself, you just get knives. You get bonus knives. I don't know why it's called Virtuoso.
Are we including dance as a sport?
Yes.
Oh, so dance counts, but marching band doesn't count.
Dance
Yeah, I was
has
just about to say.
Dance has a competitive element to it, motherfucker.
So
When you
does
talk-
marching band!
Not
So
inherently!
does marching band!
Not inherently!
Marching band, well,
Neither does dance! Dance is
Doesn't
also
marching
not
band, you have-
inherently competitive.
marching band, you gotta blow harder than the enemy school's band.
Yeah. You gotta be as loud as you can.
I'm going to kill the bot. I was trying to do something funny to it. Oh, I can't kill it from my end. Someone kill it.
I'm trying, my computer's
Oh, I can't
being
hum that
slow.
song. Never mind.
It's gonna do
I
that
was
thing
at
where
work
it dodges me again.
I was at work today, and one of the first songs that came on
Okay.
while I was at work was Wise Men Say. And I was like, are you crazy?
Okay, wait, you have your biases because you were in fucking marching band. I have mine because I was in dance,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, we're gonna kill each other over this. Lear, you have to
Oh?
pick a side.
Well, one of you is my boyfriend, so I think I gotta... I think I'm with Percy no matter what.
You don't have to side with me
Granted.
just for that.
I can side with myself and insist that robotics is a sport,
I never said it wasn't.
because there's a competition.
How do you...
I know who might say it's not, though.
Yeah. We got a freaking stickler over here.
Ah! I fucking hate Mac OS.
No, I can't sing that song. Sorry, I gotta stop. Somebody needs to, like, friggin'. I'm not gonna say that.
Scary.
Scary.
Hmm.
I was going to make a joke with the bot that was in chat, but this thing is...
That are used with permission from the book cooking with different cards to point zero copyright 1990 by Dan Winkler and Scott Nestor.
Are you okay?
We heard it too! That was scary. That was the Mac! Literally crying, laughing. The playlist stopped. Hold on. I need another
It
one.
is so over. All 3 of my big plates are in use.
Gotta wash them plates.
They're all being used. It's not that they're dirty, they're being used.
Oh. Time to craft a new plate.
I have a small plate. No, that one's in use too, never mind. All 4 of my plates are in use.
What are you using 4 plates for that are not dinner?
Ah, shit. Well, one plate has the potatoes I just chopped because I don't have a cutting board. And one plate is under the chicken in the fridge to defrost. And then one plate is where the corn is going now that it's done.
Okay, valid. We gotta get you some more plates.
No, don't give me more plates. I'll just make a mess. Hope you guys didn't just hear that.
Yeah, we heard it.
We
That
did.
wasn't good. Whoops. We're gonna turn that down. There's oil everywhere now.
For what? And
For potatoes.
don't you just boil those like the corn?
I wanted to fry them.
Oh, okay.
I wanted little fried potatoes. Little potato chunks. There's oil all over the floor.
That's not where that goes.
No, it's not. There's oil everywhere. We're gonna just try and clean this up best I can. I didn't want to do like a full deep fry thing, so I just put a little bit of oil in my pan. Oh, now I'm scared because I don't think the potatoes are dry enough, and I don't want to do that again.
Mac, stop it! The Mac is misbehaving.
The Mac.
Hello, chat.
The Mac said hi.
I can't see the Mac.
It's not on screen. I guess I could put
I
it on
can't hear
screen,
the Mac
but...
either.
Well, it's on. You can only hear it through the stream. Smithy's hearing it. It was scary the first time it played. What if I... Terrible idea. What if I put everything I've written of Sarlacc fic currently into this and just let it read it while we talk? Read it in the background.
Do it, man.
No! No, that's embarrassing.
You're
that's
the one who
Then
said
why-
it.
Why do you suggest it?
Because it's funny.
Ooh, I don't. Should I embarrass myself on stream? Ooh, I don't know. I need
Every
my
time
peers
I
to
To push me over the edge on this one.
Every time I stream, I embarrass myself on stream.
What? No.
That's kind of the whole. Ow!
That's the
shit.
point of streaming.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think I'm calling it for trying to fry potatoes. This is not going well. I've even dried my potatoes off, and they're still popping everywhere. So that's gonna be something I don't do.
Percy's out here like, ooh, I'm embarrassed. Meanwhile, he shows off his amazing art skills. Or modeling skills.
Percy's over there like, I'm embarrassed because I write things, and meanwhile I'm over here embarrassing myself by almost causing a kitchen fire.
I'm not embarrassed because I
True.
write things. I'm embarrassed because this fic is so fucking self-indulgent that even I'm like, oh, that's too much.
Bruh. Hey man, you know what you just said, right? This fan fiction is self-indulgent.
Yeah.
Did you
Something
know
can
that
be-
fan fiction
okay.
is kind of inherently self-indulgent?
No. Things can be too self-indulgent that even you realize you need to dial it back. Although I would say Sarlik's fic
Yeah.
is so much over the line of self-indulgent that, like, I have posted self-indulgent not safe for work fics that were less self-indulgent than this.
Yeah, well. Life exists to be lived, not feared. That's the most profound thing I've ever said, and I don't think it made any sense.
No, I get it.
No, I get you.
Incredible reaction to to that though.
We're gonna boil the potatoes because I'm too scared of the oil. I have fried potatoes successfully before, by the way. I don't know what the heck is going on this time.
No one was questioning your ability to fry a potato.
I was.
I'm questioning my ability to fry potatoes. There was a period of time, Lear, you probably remember this, where all I ate for like a month and a half was fried potatoes.
Yeah.
No, actually, since this is the Macintalk Fred voice, or I don't think this is the Fred one specifically, but it's definitely the Macintalk voice, it would be more appropriate to have one of my Transformers animated fics be read in that voice, because that's Perceptor's voice.
Ooh.
They, like, explicitly use the Macintalk Fred voice for him in the show, instead of having a voice actor. I believe the implication... Well, okay, no. It is explicitly stated in canon that he had his personality modules removed. So I believe the implication is that because he has no personality, he's just a robot at that point. Which is why he has an actual robot voice. I just think it sounds cool, though.
I wouldn't know. I can't hear it.
It's not playing!
Sounds like robot.
Yeah, this music is
I
grooving.
got corn. I got corn, but I don't have any butter.
Why'd you make corn then?
Because I got salt. Do I have butter actually? Don't. Do not have butter. I went to the store today and I got butter. No, I didn't get butter. I got corn. I should have gotten butter. I meant to. I got corn, and then I got stuff to make sloppy joes, except I didn't get any bread, and I don't have bread,
That's-
so... This is why I can't go to the store by myself, dude.
Do you not make a
Because
list?
I thought about how I needed bread. I do, but I forget my list.
What do you
My
mean?
mom does
Make it
that.
on your phone.
I've tried doing that in the past. Anyway, I only went to the store to get like small stuff to last me till my next paycheck, and I didn't do that anyway. I did get some frozen stuff. I got like chicken nuggets. So it's not like I'll starve to death.
Now I'm gonna starve. These potatoes are not cooked through. That's okay. Every experience is a learning experience. Unless you turn off your brain. You know, I could have the bot say anything and you would never know.
He's gonna use this to bully me.
I'm not gonna bully
What
you.
about when Jay like listens to the recording?
Oh, then you'll get to know, but you won't
That's
get
right.
to know until then.
Arguably, that is bullying.
It's not bullying. It's not bullying if it's something you'll like. Why do you assume that I'm gonna do something like bad or mean or something?
I was joking, dude.
I literally can't find the fic I'm looking for, actually.
Why not?
My documents are a mess. Nope, not that one. Uh-oh. Is it this one?
I think
Oh,
it's
it is?
hilarious that tonight the thing I've never made before, corn on the cob, turned out great. Meanwhile, the thing I have made before, fried potatoes, did not turn out at all.
Sometimes that's just how it goes.
I freaking love corn, dude. Corn is so good. I hated corn when I was a kid. It wasn't until I moved here
Corn bad.
that I truly appreciated corn.
Corn bad. I don't like corn.
Corn hater.
I am a corn hater.
I hated the corn in Texas, but corn here is good.
Oh, pina colada tastes good.
I don't like pineapples. That's not true. I used to not like pineapples. I didn't like them when I was a kid. I don't like them in, like, desserts.
Food hater convention.
I hate beans. I got so sad today. I was on my lunch break and I was devastated because I went to Taco Bell yesterday and I got the $5 box because it's a lot of food, and I also got a free gordita crunch. So
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
love
this
those
is
things.
great. That's so much food because now I have 2 gordita crunch and a 5-layer burrito and a little thing of Fiesta potatoes, and then I also got my Cinnabons, whatever they are. So I was so excited to go to lunch today, and I ate the second gordita crunch, and then I sat down to eat my burrito, and I found out that they put beans on it, even though I asked for no beans, and I was so sad. I had to throw it away because I was like, I can't freaking eat this. It's nasty. Hate beans. Something good's happening over there.
I had I muted the audio real quick to listen to the bot read a segment of something that I had written just to see how it would sound, and it's so funny hearing this like old text to speech try and read like it's not exactly phonetic English, but like written accent for someone who is supposed to be like a New Yorker. I will say it did pronounce "hafta" pretty well. I'm almost tempted to actually just let it play. Because it doesn't sound
It's your
that
stream.
bad.
You can do what you want.
I can do what I want, but like...
We are in your house right now.
Oh... Smithy, if you have morning shift, you better sleep. I liked the way that the I like the way the bot pronounced Sonari.
How did it say it?
It was like Sonari.
Oh no. Why did I make 3 corn cobs?
Why did you? You're one person.
I love
Three.
corn.
That's 3 days worth of corn cobs.
No, man. That's.
Oh.
I'm gonna eat all of it right now.
Whoa.
Ugh. Your
And
poor
the other
teeth.
things you
Freaking.
made?
No, I'm not gonna eat. I mean, I just made 1 potato.
I want 3
Also,
corn
eating
cobs.
corn on the cob is not that hard on my teeth.
Ugh, can't relate.
Yeah.
I had
I
rice
was gonna say it's not
earlier
that hard
and
on
was
your
too
teeth,
hard on my
like
teeth.
the general you, but yeah. I was gonna say the general you, it's not hard on your teeth, but then I was like, it is hard on your teeth. Your
Yeah,
teeth
my
specifically.
Well,
Yeah.
it also
It's
doesn't
fine
help
on my
that
teeth.
it doesn't help that my front teeth, the ones that I would specifically be using to get it off the cob, are half fake and not attached properly.
One of my front teeth is half fake. And it wasn't attached properly the first time they did it. Or the second time they did it. So when I moved up here, they had to fix it. Well, it was attached properly the second time, but it was not shaped properly. So I had like a little shelf on the back of one of my teeth. It was weird. Stuff got stuck up there all the time. Let's test the potatoes. Yeah, they're boiled.
The only downside to having a text to speech read something that I've written is that it won't get any of the inflections that I want.
Oh, that's the most annoying thing. I always try to put inflection into my writing, but then I'm like, I'm using too many italics.
Well, sometimes italics don't even do it.
Yeah,
To me personally, at least.
it's really. No, I get you. It's really hard because like sometimes the italics are
sense.
too much. They're not, or they're like if you read it
Oh.
in italics, it almost sounds angry when really the emphasis is not supposed to be angry, or it sounds sarcastic.
I found the first fic I started writing when I
Writing is
first
hard.
started writing WoW stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't go anywhere. But it features Axel.
That's okay.
Oh, I found the original doc for Stowaways.
Ooh. Boil these taters in corn water.
Tools.
This cup is so fucked. I need to just throw it away. Ooh, that was dangerous. Not do that.
Good night, Smithy.
Take care,
Good
Smithy.
night. Okay, most of a whole potato and 2 more cobs of corn to go. Excuse me. I love corn. These potatoes are gonna be pretty bland though, so.
I don't think there's any of my fics that I would want a bot to read over my own self.
That's because you can.
I
do
wouldn't
voice-
want a bot to read any of my fics because then I wouldn't be able to be like, oh, I'm not reading that part. It's embarrassing. But
You
then
just
I
mute
feel
it.
so awkward reading my own stuff.
Oh, fucking, I
feel
love
so
reading my own
awkward reading
stuff
my
aloud.
stuff out loud.
I read my own stuff aloud
I
to
hate
myself.
reading. I hate reading anything aloud. Like, I was reading excerpts from the Hunger Games to Lear one time, and I was like, this is too embarrassing. And so I kept like skipping over stuff, and then being like, wait, no, I skipped this important thing, and having to go back and read even more because I was too embarrassed to just read it the first time.
Jay, you're silly because you're good. What is someone who reads a book called a narrator?
Narrator.
Yeah.
Oh!
I liked when you were reading that stuff to me.
People have told me I should like do something that involves like talking a lot because they're like, you have such a pleasant voice.
You already do that. It's called talking to people.
It's called talking a lot, and I do that a lot.
That
Oh, that is
reminds
so
me,
much salt for one piece of potato.
speaking of reading stuff, a future stream that I wanted to do was to go over, like, information presented in the WoW roleplay books. Just because I find them really interesting, and some of the stuff doesn't actually line up with WoW anymore. If it ever did at all, for some of these things. But, like,
Rogues can use gun.
I had a concern though that because reading books that are still under copyright on Twitch is considered DMCA-able, but does that count for RPG books considering that people do D&D sessions on stream?
So here's a loophole of sorts. Not sure if it counts for streams, but it counts for sharing books with other people in that regard, specifically like tabletop stuff. If you're having a discussion about the rules and you need to, like, you know, tell others what the rules are, then it's probably alright.
Well, I would imagine the DMCA thing would probably be more so aimed at reading whole books. If you're just bringing up, like, little bits and pieces of books, like, obviously it's an RPG book. I'm not gonna be reading it front to back
Yeah,
word for word.
we'd be discussing the contents.
But I thought it would be
We may
fun.
need you to, like, tell us an exact paragraph sometimes, but
Well,
that's just part of the discussion. Wink, wink.
I just think it would be a fun stream just because, like, I like going over RPG books in general. Like, they fascinate
It's
me
very
so
fun.
much. But the WoW ones are particularly interesting to me because, like, you know, I play the game and know things. So, it's fun to compare. Especially because most of them were written in 2004 and 5. So, like, you know, a lot of their information is from vanilla. Or some of them are also meant to be written in the period of time between Warcraft 3 and WoW. So like their information is supplementary rather than like expanding on pre-existing information, which I find interesting. I have 6 of them in my files.
Sounds like the Pokemon tabletops. Have you ever looked into those?
I have not.
They get weird because like they don't. They like don't balance drawing inspiration from the games or the anime. So like a lot of them have a mishmash, and then they've also been made throughout like the lifetime of Pokemon. So like some of them are as old as like red, blue, and yellow. Some of them are, you know, more recent. And so you get a lot of like interesting inconsistencies. My favorite are the ones that give you like, because you always play as a trainer, and like the one consistency is A, you always play as a trainer, and B, you have to juggle a million character sheets for all your Pokemon. But like some of them have like, as a trainer you get to do you get to do more or less depending on the system. All of them are standalone that I've read. I don't think any of them are proper like you know, through 3.5 or like a modification of D&D like that. But like some of them you have a trainer that's kind of like on the power level of an average person. It's just like you're slightly specialized and then can use that knowledge and skill for like roleplay scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of them, if you choose to be a martial artist, you're just allowed to fight the Pokemon yourselves.
Oh, I love that.
I'm a big fan of that idea.
To be
But,
fair,
like,
Ash does that
it's very,
sometimes
very,
where he decks
like-
Pokemon.
True. And like WoW sounds like it would. The WoW books sound like they'd kind of be like that, especially if they're not all from like a vanilla period of time.
I will say, one of the things that throws me off a little bit about the WoW RPG books is that some, not all, some are written as if they were written by Bran Bronzebeard himself. So, so some of these, in order to convey information, will be segments where he's explaining an anecdote that relates. And it throws me off a little bit.
That's because he's all like, no, gnomes are dumb. They don't have history.
No, he's really sorry, but I'm literally looking at that. It says sorry, but there's little to go off of for gnomish history. Even the gnomes don't know much prior to the Second War. He goes on to say that like a little over 200 years ago, a dwarf explorer found a gnome village, and that was that. Like, what? Also, a little bit later, he says gnomes also discovered goblins. What do you mean, discovered goblins?
Actually, talking about this now, I think it would be really interesting to get like a book series in which like we get the same history explained by several different races,
Ooh. Oh, that would be really interesting.
or like an individual from each one. Because then, like, Bran's like, I don't know shit about gnomes. And then the gnomes are like, here's all the shit we know. We don't know a damn thing about dwarves. Also, goblins are weird. And then you get to the goblin book, and it's like, the gnomes are weird? What the fuck is a dwarf?
That would be super interesting, actually. There's a bit in here where Bran is like, one day all the gnomes just disappeared, and it was shocking that they did that to us. The exact paragraph here is, then one day the gnomes up and disappeared, withholding all their pilots and troops during the Third War. It blew our minds that our friends would so abruptly leave us like that.
Bran, something happened. Why?
Yeah,
why are
Bran,
you being
there was an
mean?
emergency.
Those crafty gnomes hid themselves away during the war.
I also
Every
love
single
it, so
one.
It blew our minds.
It blew our minds.
It was insane that all our friends disappeared. They probably did it on purpose.
I don't know why.
None of us went to check. None of us thought to ask after.
That's okay. That's legitimately something that I have a criticism against the Alliance about. The fact that, like, okay, I understand the Third War was going on, but also, like, okay, you have the gnomes who are like allies and friends supplying troops to war efforts, and then suddenly they all disappear. Would you not go check on them? Like, why did the Alliance just like, oh, the gnomes just disappeared. They abandoned us during the Third War. What do you mean? You didn't go check?
This is not an alliance, this is an acquaintanceship.
And it,
Oh
like,
no, my coworkers are missing. I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, you're far away.
I moved my mic and muted myself while I was eating corn.
Well, and then also,
Because
like,
I was like, this is probably loud.
so, like, Nomergon is, like, flooded by, like, radiation and shit, right? Nomergon's not even that far away from Ironforge. I had to remember what it was called.
They have a tram about that, don't they?
The
Or did
tram-
that go somewhere else?
The tram goes between Ironforge and Stormwind. But, like, Ironforge is, like, walking distance from Nomergon. They just didn't go check on the gnomes!
Wasn't their problem.
Oh shit, our allies disappeared. Oh well! What? And then also the whole, like, post radiation spill, like, whenever you actually go to Gnomeregon, or, like, you start a fresh gnome that, like, does the gnome starting area in Gnomeregon, like, where's the Alliance? Where is the Alliance helping them? I don't recall seeing any Alliance anyone who isn't a gnome. What's the Alliance doing? I feel the same way
Listen, the
about
dwarves-
Gilneas.
The dwarves, they're known
Mhm.
for being very studious and not sticking their noses in things, so they went to check on the gnomes and the door was locked, so they just thought they were hiding. They weren't gonna, like, knock or anything, not a second time.
They do that thing that UPS does where they, like, whisper at your door and they're like, sorry, we missed you.
Here, gnomes, we've come
You
to
mean you
deliver
missed me? I took off work for this package.
Here, gnomes, we've come to deliver a supply package. Attached is a photo of a package mid-throw.
Consider also, sorry we missed you. Here's a pink piece of paper attached to your door
A piece of
to
parchment.
tell you that we were here but didn't knock. Yeah. Here's a scroll.
Oh, here's that bit that pissed me off. Bran says, unlike their closest competitors, the goblins, gnomish ingenuity does not hold only to technological prowess. A gnome is always attempting to find the next greatest thing, whether it be a new spell, invention, or even way to eat. What? Goblins do that too!
It's very Asura coded, except with more whimsy.
Hey, the fried potatoes did turn out good, by the way. They just almost burned my kitchen down.
He says, why simply swing an axe when you can have an automated arm thrust a spinning saw blade into someone's face? Girl, what do you think a goblin shredder does?
I don't know. Gets rid of papers that are important but no longer useful. What if he heard the name Goblin Shredder and thought it was a gnome machine for shredding goblins?
That's funny. You know what? I'm accepting that into my headcanons right now. Bran turns to you during a delve and goes, don't you think it's weird there's always a goblin in a goblin shredder? I think Sarlix would have some kind of freak out if Bran said that to him during a delve.
That's the one it's getting ready to shred.
I don't know if this is like a thing that other RPG books have, but because I haven't usually when I read RPG books, I've read other ones that are for like different systems than just like the different editions of D&D. The WoW RPG book includes something here that I personally think is useful, where it it indicates, like, it gives you basically a list of information categorized by how well your player rolls for a knowledge check, and it tells you basically what to say to them for how much they would know about a particular race.
The more you talk about this, this is like, it sounds like a first contact timeline. Especially if, like, players only potentially know about other races.
You're Draenei, you just landed on the planet.
That's awesome.
I mean, I guess it would depend entirely on what kind of backstory you give your character, because, like, yeah, if you're a gnome who's fresh out of Gnomeregon, immediately following the radiation disaster, like, maybe you wouldn't know anything about goblins.
You're fresh out of Gnomeregon.
And you roll that really knowledge check to see how much you know about gnomes. Gotta get an H. You never paid attention in school. You hated history class.
Hey, canonically, gnomes don't keep written history, so there's no class to fail.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna throw away this potato. I don't want it anymore. I ate too much.
Oh,
I shouldn't
wait!
have done 3 cobs of corn.
I totally forgot. There's a bit of information in here that, like, drives me nuts, because it says that gnomes don't have official kings or queens or anything like that. They have elected leaders. And they hold office for a
Prince or
set...
husband.
Well, hold on, no. They hold office for a set period of time. Let's be clear here, Mechatork has been in office as the High Tinker for over 30 years. How long are their terms? How long is a gnome in office?
Freaking... No term limits.
They're just kind of doing that thing like Vladimir Putin does.
He gets reelected every time. Or starts a war so he can't get out of office. FDR, but times. I don't know, how long was FDR in office? He was president 3 times?
I
I
have
don't
no
remember.
idea.
I wasn't
4
there.
times. He was elected 4 times.
It says that
He was
after
the one that they were like, we gotta put term limits on this.
it says that after a gnome, after their term ends, they go back to working a normal job.
That's how it should be. Fucking make Donald Trump work in retail. Let him get yelled at by a little old lady whose coupon doesn't work.
Bran?
Quite frankly, ma'am, it's not my fault. I don't know what to tell you, ma'am. You should have gotten a better coupon. We make the best coupons. It sounds like it's your fault that your coupon doesn't work.
What
Ma'am.
did Brand say for a C?
Sorry.
No, that was really good, Jay. I like that.
Your thing about coupons reminded me of that fucking dream I had too. Lear, I had a dream while I took a nap the other day and dreamed that people decided to come up with a fake currency named Menudos, like the food. And everyone acknowledged that it was a fake currency, but people still would get mad that it wasn't accepted in stores.
And I said, like, that's coupons.
Bran has a line here where he's talking about Mechatork and he says, he's a good man too. I've spent more than one evening with him.
Ooh.
Okay, Bran. Get some.
Oh,
That's
wow.
literally fucking... That's Gorham levels of, I'll always be your man.
Oh my goodness.
That line drives me insane. That line drives me insane. I will be at work, just existing, and then all of a sudden I will remember Gorham as he was leaving because he was banished to the surface, saying, I'll always be your man. Which, Lear... I googled the noble dwarf
Oh, ow.
origin for Dragon
Ah.
Age Origins because I could not remember Gorham's name, but I didn't want to be like that guy who followed me around at the start. But I googled it, and turns out if you play a female noble, Gorham can be your lover, which to me makes so much sense why he says at the end, "I'll always be your man." But also he's only canonically your lover if you confirm it as the woman noble or the woman as the princess, whatever the fuck. He's only
Interesting.
canonically if you confirm it. So I'm like, so were they fucking no matter what and it just wasn't official unless you said something?
No, that game's really good about that. Well, kind of. I think the gendered stuff kind of stops right after you get out of the tutorial, unfortunately. So like that
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
get
and
explored.
it's very strange. When you're creating your character, they make a point to be like, and genders are all equal here. Women can do exactly what the men can do. And then the second you start your game, there's sexism everywhere.
Well, yeah, like, and I think that's good because
Especially for dwarves.
like as a gameplay element, it's good that like stats are the same for both. But I think it's good that like it explores how that affects you societally. Like, do you care about like city elf
The
spoilers?
sexism is good.
No.
I'm kidding.
Well,
It's good
It's
realism.
it sets it up as like a good medieval society that has like shit wrong with it, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But did you say you care about city elf spoilers?
No, you're fine.
Okay, so if you do city elf, you live in the elf slums in the human city.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a male elf, you're about to get married. Well, for both, you're about to get married. If you're the male elf, some like snooty lower noble dude, essentially human guy, kidnaps your wife and a bunch of other ladies from the elf slums. And then you get your elf friend and go on a 2-man slaying spree through the entire Noble's Keep. Or you can smooth talk through some of it, if you have the stats for it. But if you're...
I really
if you're
buffed up the speech stat for my dwarf. He can
If
persuade
you're-
anybody.
if you start as a female elf instead, you get kidnapped with that group. You just get taken.
I think
and then
Joe told me about this because his character is a trans man who transitions after the fact, so starts
Yeah.
out with the female city elf story. Joe was
That makes
telling me
sense.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like that's good world building.
Mm-hmm. It's hot in here. It was cold all day and now it's hot in here. Hi, honey. Hi.
There is a bit of gnome information in here that I like a lot.
Yeah,
Hold on, I'm choking on chocolate again.
Build beans. Don't do that.
it's okay. I was joking on potato a few minutes ago.
Hold on. Ugh! Oh! Ah! It says, gnomes organize into great extended families, taking in anyone who sticks around long enough and adding them to the family. A single domicile can hold upward of 20 gnomes, and even more could theoretically be crammed in. Even to outsiders, their doors are always open and something's on the stove. Presents are common and given for even the smallest reason. Despite their oddness, they're the happiest people I've ever met. It's cute! I like that!
Minnesotans.
It took me a second.
Oh, that's like... I guess not necessarily Minnesotans, but like, that's kind of the outward perception of how Midwesterners are, in a way.
Is this combat music? What is this? Deltarune Chapter 1. Let's see. What else can I dig into in this book?
Do the Worgen even have history, or does that just kind of start with when they became Worgen?
Do you mean in
Because like
the
I know
actual...
Gilneas. I guess like in general, because I know like Gilneas was kind of like unaffiliated until the undead showed up.
Okay. So, Worgen originate with the Night Elves. Because, Worgen were originally a Night Elf druid form, but it was considered like a taboo form to take because it's uncontrollable and infectious.
Wolves are too popular for the furries. You can't pick that one.
Hey, I
Night
found the
elves are
last
like-
fossil in
Literally.
Animal Crossing.
Um,
Sorry, I just finished all the fossils from Animal Crossing. Yay.
Yippee!
huh. Worgen are not even included in this book. Oh, but
They hate furries.
But
What about
the...
Draenei? Are they there?
Nope. I believe they're in a supplementary book, though. Actually, you know what I own? I own the Brady guide that has the that came out at the time that the Draenei were added. I love the Brady guide books. They're sometimes they're not correct at all. But yeah, Worgen started as a night elf thing because then it was a druid form that they could take on, but it was considered taboo because it was uncontrollable, violent, and contagious in a way. Um, and like the ones who took that form couldn't change back or something like that, and basically became their own sect of night elves who were like just ravenous beasts or something. You don't quote me on this because this is all vague memory of doing my research, but they started infecting people basically and making more Worgen, and this eventually ended up. I don't remember how it ended up in Gilneas, but it ended up in Gilneas at the same time that there was like Scourge knocking at their door. So like rock and a hard place kind of thing.
Yeah. Honestly, kind of a good setup now that I think about it.
I think it's interesting.
Like, oh yeah, because like, oh geez, the enemy army is at our door. What are we gonna do? Especially because they're the undead, and all of a sudden, oh boy, we're werewolves now.
Well, it was considered like
That'll turn the tide.
it was considered like a bad thing initially until the night elves showed up in Gilneas and were like, "We'll teach you how to control your wolf form because we learned how to do it for ourselves." And then fucking Gin
And then
Greymane
everyone
gets
learned
bit.
how to be human form.
Gin, okay.
That guy's in Hearthstone.
He is so bad in that initial quest line where they're like first like experiencing the outbreak of Worgen and also being attacked by the Scourge. Like he is so bad at hiding the fact that he was bitten by a Worgen. He's like really bad at it.
Yeah,
It cracks me up
not their
literally
best
every
rating.
time.
But I mean, it's like the tutorial.
Yeah.
They aren't gonna keep that hidden for too long.
No, but like it's still very funny the way they're like, "King Gin, is everything okay?" And he's like very obviously like like holding a bite, being like, "Oh, yes, I'm totally good and not bitten. Let's go."
I mean, like, I don't think they're aware of Worgen at the time.
Not fully. They
So,
just know
like-
they're being attacked by wolves.
Yeah, they'd just be like, is that wound bad enough to need treatment right now? Rather than, are you actively a werewolf?
My lord, are you a wolf? My lord, what is your persona?
Persona check.
But yeah, if I recall correctly, they were unaffiliated until all that happened. Specifically because if I recall correctly, Gin kept, like, rejecting help from every side anyway. It wasn't just that they were unaffiliated, it was like he was, like, not having it from the rest of the Alliance. And then, oh no, the Scourge is knocking at our door! Alliance, please help! Please, Mr. Alliance, I need help! Please, Mr. Varian! Was Varian king at that time? I don't remember, actually. Oh, he had to have been, because that was like... I believe Worgen were added at the same time as goblins, so that would have been Cataclysm, which is, yeah, I think Varian was king at that time, I believe.
I thought gnomes were added at the same time as goblins.
Nope, gnomes, I believe, were vanilla, weren't they? Wow, this music got really loud suddenly. I cannot hear.
I might be stupid, because whenever I think goblins and gnomes, I think of the Hearthstone expansion, and I just
Oh.
associate them with each other.
Well, you would think, but... I believe. Yeah, I believe.
They got a hobgoblin card in that game, and he says goblins and gnomes when you put him on the board.
Yeah, I believe. So it was. Cataclysm had Worgen and goblins added. Burning Legion had Blood Elves and Draenei. I'm thinking. I know Battle for Azeroth had Kultirans, Zandalari Trolls, Mechagnomes, and Volpera all at once. Not all at once. I believe Mechagnomes and
That was the
Volpera
Alliance race update.
that came at the end of the expansion. Oh,
I like
it's
Draenei so much. They're cool.
they're really
looking.
good. They won't let me off of their spaceship. Whenever I go to their spaceship and I'm like, I want to go down to the surface, they're like, no, you can't go to the surface. Go back to the starting area and do the Legion quest line. No, I don't wanna.
Question.
Hmm.
What if goblins had tails?
I think that'd be interesting.
That's part of why I like Draenei. They have tails, and like they don't feel like they should, even though they're like space satyrs. And I like to imagine like, alright, what if these other races had similar like weird tails? Would that be a cool or a bad design?
I've thought about it for trolls specifically. Because I
Me
think
too. I'm not sure how I feel about goblin ones, but trolls would look good.
I've always pictured that they would look really good with the tails that have like a tuft of fur at the end. So they have the what? You're laughing?
It matches the well, because like I'm imagining it like it would match their hair color, and like the mental image is very like children's storybook to me, and I like that.
I think it's good.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get you.
Bianca calling me subscriber.
What?
Bianca calls me subscriber. Because one time she asked me if I would like a cool nickname, and I meant to say no, but I accidentally said yes to her calling me subscriber, and she's called me that for years. I can't change it.
I thought you were talking about a real person you know. I was about to be like, who's Bianca? Here's what's interesting about these RPG books. They have playable races in here that are not playable in the game. In the actual video game. If you
Murloc.
if you play Alliance, you can play as a how do you pronounce this? Furbolg?
Mm-hmm.
The bear thing.
Those are just owlbears.
I would assume that they're playable because they're associated with night elves, but I'm not sure on that.
Well, it's weird because that's a night elf. That's a druid form. You can take the furbolg form or owlbear, whatever they call it, like in
They
game.
call it a moonkin.
That yeah, moonkin. Because that's if you play druid, you're an all-rounder. Cat form is if you're a DPS. Bear form is if you're a bear form is if you're a tank, and moonkin form is if you're a spellcaster or like healer. Although there is an alternate form with the like tree, but I think you need some stuff for that before you can actually do it right. You need a little treant. I don't like WoW Druid.
I tried playing it, it didn't feel right to me.
Like, I get the concept, because, like, the class fantasy is, oh, you can juggle the animal forms, and but I don't like constantly being not my player model.
Yeah.
And I also don't like that it's very melee oriented, because you're in, like, if you're in combat, you want to be in animal form at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Guild Wars does it a little better in that it's more of a support healer caster of sorts, but it also suffers in this game because it's a elite spec for Ranger, and Ranger doesn't have any other casting options besides the
Ah.
staff, which is purely like support oriented.
Hmm.
That's the one that Druid shipped with. And if you want to play Druid as not a support caster, you take dual wield daggers because the class only gives you bonuses towards condition damage, and those apply bleed. Which, like, I guess that's a cool fantasy for, like, that's a cool class fantasy for a druid, because, like, the mystery of the druids. You're just a knife murderer instead of a nature protector.
I have another RPG book here. This one is called Dark Factions. And
They
immediately,
call those guys the Horde.
yeah, immediately. Okay, well, and here's the thing that gets me is, I believe each one of these, aside from the ones that are like supposed to give information about specific areas, each one of these introduces a few supplementary races and classes that you can play. And for the Dark Factions one, some of these are Alliance.
Which ones?
Dark Iron Dwarves? Well, I guess they weren't Alliance at this point yet. Pandaren?
Has dark in the name. Not that one, though.
So the new races introduced in the Dark Factions book are Dragonspawn, Dark Iron Dwarf, Murloc, Naga, Pandaren, Quilboar, Satyr, and Tuskar.
Really broad selection, actually. That's pretty cool.
And then they introduced some, not new classes, but new options for classes. Like Aquatic Druid. Druid of the Nightmare? What is that? Shadow Mage. What's a contender?
That's what Sarlix was when he ate 1,000,000 hot dogs at the Dark Moon Fair.
Dark Inscriber.
That sounds like
Dungeoneer.
a... Depending on when that came out, Dark Inscriber could sound like a precursor to Death Knight. Depending on what exactly they mean by Inscriber, because I know that introduced the rune mechanic for weapons.
So this was 2008. This one specifically is from 2008.
When did Wrath of the Lich King come out?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. Where did it go? Dark Inscriber is page 27, so let's check that out. I also want to see what Druid of the Nightmare is.
Sounds like Shadow Priest wannabe.
Not all druids revere the Emerald Dream. A few rare and twisted individuals channel the nightmare, a rent in the perfection of the Emerald Dream. Most of these druids of the nightmare were once normal druids who inadvertently came into contact with the nightmare, often while dreamwalking, and fell under its insidious influence.
Druid warlock.
Yeah, basically, huh? Oh, this one has you reference a different RPG book. Which I also have on hand, but the Dark Inscriber asks you to reference the Magic and Mayhem RPG book. The Inscriber, let's see. The Inscriber is a strange one. He has access to arcanist spells and to rune patterns, and as he grows in understanding, he can blend the two to create runes of his spells. Most Inscribers feel a connection to the ley energies of the natural world. Runes are, after all, a way to harness arcane power without the risk of demonic corruption. This fact is no secret. What is a secret is that they can use runes for a darker purpose, just as they can capture the native pure energies of the world, so too can they contain the blackest evil from the nether. So it's just a dark mage.
Mages don't use runes.
Do they not?
In WoW. No.
I believe
That's, like I said, that's a Death Knight thing.
I believe inscribing is like
But
a
this sounds rather close to Guild Wars 1 class mechanics, actually.
What do you mean
They're
necromancer?
stealing-
Oh. Oh. It's equivocally a necromancer. They explicitly refer to like the Dark Inscriber shit as necromancer shit.
Oh, okay.
When the Dark Inscriber gains the lesser runic mysteries, gains the lesser runic mysteries, and greater runic mysteries arcana, he can cast necromancer or warlock spells as appropriate as runes. And then it goes into like what spells you can use at each level. And they're all necromancer based.
Evil tattoo artist
Now that would
draws
be
on a dead
interesting.
guy and then they get up.
That's
That's
kind of
actually been a thing.
that's kind of shit Joe's on right now.
I believe like necromancy or like reanimating a corpse via tattoos or inscription is actually a thing. I don't remember which culture that's from though.
What the fuck is that? Oh, the art in this book is weird sometimes. Murlocs. A Murloc would be fun to play
Fortress is
as.
on sale.
Woo. What languages do Murlocs know? Automatic languages Nurglish. Bonus languages Common, Dwarven, Naja, and Zandali. Unlike humans and some other races, Murlocs can take a few levels in Murloc as a class to develop their racial qualities more fully. Murloc as a class. Interesting.
Oh, I think it's bedtime for me.
It should also
Okay.
be bedtime for me because it is past midnight, but I want to keep reading because it's just interesting. Honestly,
I just
Naga would
realized I've
also
been
be
quiet
interesting,
for a
but-
while and I'm getting sleepy.
Yeah, I could tell you were getting sleepy. I thought you had fallen asleep.
No. I'm sitting up.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it does. I always lay down before I fall asleep.
Pandaren. Pandaran's bonus languages are any unrestricted. Pandaren enjoy learning new languages. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be here all night. Alright, I'm closing out these PDFs. I do think this is a good time to call it for the night, though.
Bedtime.
In spite of the
Mm-hmm.
struggles I have suffered with my desktop tonight, I have enjoyed the short stream that I got to do, at least. I've been missing streaming a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good
It's
time.
fun.
Hopefully I can get my PC running again the way it's supposed to be running.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real fucking disappointed if I can't and it's just like bricked because like, you know, it's a new PC and I got it recently and also it was very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you get like warranty on it or anything?
The warranty I literally got a pop-up on it like a couple days ago that said the warranty expired 2 years ago.
Oh,
That's not a new computer then.
Well,
That's an old computer.
not new as in like made this year, but like my assumption it was probably
New to
sitting in a
you.
warehouse.
yeah.
Or refurbished, maybe.
Potentially refurbished. I don't know, it's just frustrating.
hmm
Because
Yeah.
everything was running fine. Everything was... I'm not gonna point fingers. And this is not any kind of, like, judgment on any particular programs. But I will say, all of these issues started almost immediately after I downloaded the updated version of the VTuber program I use.
Oh.
And I don't want to
Virus
say
time.
I don't want to say that it's because of the program, but there was definitely an issue anytime I tried
Mhm.
testing that new version. And like it's
Well, you-
unfortunate because like this has been a good program. It's been like the best program I've come across, period.
But like, it could be a coincidence because, like I said earlier, people were talking about how Windows is probably pushing updates that'll make Windows 10 run worse.
Yeah. And I want to assume it's a coincidence because I don't want to immediately jump to being like, oh, this program that I've been using and love pushed a virus onto my PC. But like, it is just very strange that like, maybe it's not the program itself, but something in the program's startup triggered something.
Mhm.
Triggered something that was already there, I guess. Because like, okay, to give y'all a clearer picture of what exactly happened tonight with my PC, I downloaded the new version of this program. unzipped it, like extracted it, whatever, and then tried to open it, and it made the file explorer freeze immediately, and then the desktop crashed.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
not my PC crashing, just the desktop where all the icons are. It turned into a gray box and couldn't be accessed anymore. And it gave me a pop-up that was like, something has stopped working. And then everything started going wrong. So, I want to assume that something in the process of trying to boot the program triggered something that was already there. Not the program itself. But I don't know.
Hopefully, it's an easy fix.
Hopefully.
Mhm.
I even was like, okay, this is concerning behavior to happen suddenly out of nowhere. What can I do? What can I check? So I immediately went to try and check the antivirus stuff. And no threats came up. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like a virus to me, at least. So that's one thing ruled out, I guess.
What exactly all was like in this update of the program?
Not much, if I recall correctly. It basically just said that it supported what did they add support for? They added support for blend shapes that only edit textures, not entire meshes. So like they added the ability for me to like add a basically a keybind to change my hair texture or something, and nothing else. Which is a small thing. That's not like a big enough thing to have caused an issue, in my opinion.
No, probably not.
But like,
It's probably a coincidence.
I want to hope it's a coincidence, because it doesn't add up if it's not a coincidence.
Me personally, like, and like, I really hope this isn't the case, because if it is, it's likely an expensive problem. But it sounds like a hardware issue.
Yeah.
And like, whatever resources are drawn on by that program were enough to just like cause a desktop crash.
Yeah. It's overall concerning because I'm like, okay, assume I don't have to replace my whole PC. Whatever the problem is could still be expensive.
Yeah.
And that's concerning.
And like, if you have a professional look at it, it's expensive just to figure out what the problem is.
Mm-hmm. Someone got banned earlier. Concerning. My PC got banned earlier. Concerning.
I really just don't want to get banned.
Oh man. Oh, it's just, I don't know. I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do. I'm like, and this is the last thing I needed to happen to me today.
Yeah.
Hopefully, things will get better in my real life very quickly.
Fingers crossed, man.
I hope so. You deserve stuff to be good.
Oh shit.
A positive from today, it was my coworker's birthday, so we all got cake at work. And it was
Ooh.
a chocolate cake with Oreo frosting. It was really good.
Ooh. That sounds so good. Okay, I need to go to bed. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I really gotta go to bed. I'm
night,
getting really tired.
I need to go
Good
too.
night.
Oh my goodness. Good night.
We're dropping like flies. Later, nerd.
Later, nerd. Alright.
Are you gonna